Hello and welcome to another episode of GoodCast, a podcast produced by Goodwill Industries of Fort Worth. I'm your host Justin, and today we're celebrating Thanksgiving. Well, if you live in the United States. Did you know Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving in October? It's wild. Now, obviously this year, Thanksgiving is going to look different for a lot of folks. Like many things in 2020, we've had to readjust, reschedule, and rethink how we celebrate the things that we love. So whether you're celebrating in spirit or video call, we wanted to add a little bright spot to your Turkey Day. For this episode, I hit the metaphorical road and chatted with people across Goodwill Fort Worth. I wanted to get a better understanding of who all works in our organization, where they came from, and why they're thankful for Goodwill. We'll touch on some of our local history mentioned in episode 1, hear brief interviews with all kinds of lovely folks, and close with a word from Goodwill Industries International's Achiever of the Year and Goodwill Fort Worth's own, Ginas Story. Let's get started. Just as a quick reminder, since our first episode was released back in January, or if you're just joining us for the first time, we're going to go over really quickly the origins of Goodwill as a whole and Goodwill Fort Worth specifically. Now, if you didn't know, all Goodwill organizations are independently owned and operated, but we can trace Goodwill's origin all the way back to 1902. The original Goodwill was founded by Methodist minister Edgar J. Helms and was significant for giving people with disabilities and other barriers to employment the opportunity to find meaningful work. Using a similar model, Goodwill Industries of Fort Worth was founded in 1949 by a group of local businessmen and led by Everton O. Dibb. They were given a startup of $10,000 and the support of Amon Carter, yes, that Amon Carter, to purchase a building and store and start their operations. We actually still have a copy of that acceptance letter from Goodwill Industries International welcoming Goodwill Fort Worth into their organization. It's pretty cool if you're into history. That first year of operation, they served 53 people and put them into employment, and that number has continued to grow for over 70 years now. With that kind of time, it's no surprise that there are a number of successful people and triumphant stories to tell. It's what the premise of this show was based on. But the great thing about Goodwill is that these stories aren't completely unique. There are countless remarkable people across our organization. We talked about this a lot in our relaunch episode, but for many people, Goodwill offers them a second chance.
Hi, my name's Kathy. I'm the manager for centralized processing. And what I love most about Goodwill is that when I came out of prison, Goodwill didn't care where I'd been. They only gave me the opportunity to advance and gave me direction on which way to go.
My name is Aaron Cole, and I am grateful for what Goodwill has done because they gave me a chance when no one else did.
My name's Amber, and I'm an RTM for Central Processing. And the thing that I am most thankful for Goodwill is the ability to have gainful employment and interact with all different kinds of people.
One key factor in achieving success or having change in any aspect of our lives is having a supportive network. This can include friends, family members, or even coworkers. Having a great team is something that came up a lot in my interviews. It encourages people to grow and learn new things without fear of rejection or judgment. And if there's anything we need this holiday season, I think it's that.
Hi, I'm Sandy Smith, and I am thankful for my Goodwill team that I work with every day. We have an awesome DGR group, and I couldn't be part of a better team.
My name is Darlene Robertson, and I've been with Goodwill for 5 years, and I'm thankful for Goodwill because they have some very friendly and sweet people here, and I'm just grateful to have a job.
I'm Kate Dawson, and I'm thankful for the position Goodwill has given me in order to support our employees to make their lives better.
Another factor that came up when talking to people about what they were thankful for was Goodwill's mission itself. Let's take a look at our 2019 annual report. In 2019, 6,513 people received employment training and placement services through our 23 programs. This includes 1,797 people with disabilities, 2,295 people experiencing homelessness, 1,485 at-risk youth, 1,651 people with a criminal background in the formerly incarcerated, 337 veterans, and 1,148 of their family members. Now, if you're like me, it can be kind of easy to be overwhelmed by numbers. It's why I have an art degree. Or on the flip side, maybe it's easy to look at these kind of numbers and dissociate them from the people they represent. But I would encourage you to think about what those numbers mean and recognize that those numbers and people are our neighbors, our friends, and for many at Goodwill Fort Worth, team members. We are an organization that is dependent upon our community. And as a nonprofit, it is our goal to return that generosity and that kindness back in full return.
My name is Christy Allen, and I am the Human Resources Generalist too. And I am thankful for Goodwill that I am able to be a part of the team that provides employment for individuals that might not have an opportunity had they not come through Goodwill as their employer.
Hi, I'm Greg Hutchins, Chief Financial Officer, Goodwill Industries of Fort Worth. I'm thankful for Goodwill and thankful for an organization that helps people that in most need of help. We give them the tools to have a dignified life and to be able to go back to work and provide for themselves. I'm also thankful that the organization helps those that need a second chance. And I'm also very thankful for the team that I work with on a day in, day out basis.
My name is Nasir Contreras with Information System Support Tech at Goodwill FW. I've been with the company for almost 5 years now. I started as a donation receiver in Cleveland, Texas. I struggled with PTSD for a good portion of my 20s. For 4 years, I've been part of the Grapevine Stars program, which was something I could easily do and I was happy to do because it's something that was natural for me. It's one thing I can say about Goodwill is it's very friendly. I think my bosses that I've had so far were probably the best bosses I've ever had in my entire life. So thankful for them, that's for sure. And I hope people can take the opportunities that Goodwill gives to the community.
The STARS program was also something that came up pretty frequently in our conversations, so we thought it would be nice to hear from a few of the program's participants. We haven't had much of an opportunity to talk about our STARS program, so I'll give you a quick rundown. STARS stands for Skills Training Achieves Results and is for adults with disabilities. Participants learn both job skills and life skills in order to achieve maximum independence. If you haven't already, I'd highly recommend checking out our Meet the Stars series on YouTube or our Thank You Goodwill series, which has also featured program participants. It's one of my favorite projects that we work on.
Hi, my name is Larry. I'm thankful for being here.
What do you like about STARS?
The art room, within the apartment, the leisure.
What do you like about your instructors?
They're funny.
My name is Darren Ellis, and I'm blind. I'm thankful for STARS because it's a part of the Goodwill Industries charity.
What do you like about the program?
I like everything about it. My favorite thing is to interact with people.
My name is Natalie Green, and I'm thankful for making new friends.
My name is May Smith. I'm thankful for STARS, Miss Helen, and Miss Bonnie, and I love my friends.
The STARS program, across its 2 facilities, gives individuals with disabilities a unique opportunity to develop social skills, and for many of them, the chance to earn a paycheck above minimum wage. STARS participants have found their place in a number of stores, our e-commerce department, and most recently in the production of bath bombs for Edgar's Bath Goods. I'm trying to cover as many different programs and stories as possible in this episode, but as we've seen time and time again with the show, there's a lot of ground to cover. The series could go on forever if we let it, and even with COVID slowing things down slightly, there was no shortage of wonderful people to talk to, or number of success stories to come out of our programs. So, if anything, I hope this episode makes you excited for future stories and interviews. I know I'm excited. And to close things out, I want to talk about Gina Castile, GII's Achiever of the Year. In their own words, this award honors an outstanding person with a disability or other disadvantaging condition who has shown great progress and accomplishment in overcoming barriers to employment, while still benefiting from the Goodwill work environment or receiving services to support employment in the community. Gina came to Goodwill in 2013 as a single mother of 4 with a GED and a criminal record. When she enrolled in Goodwill's CDL certification course, she had never driven a manual transmission and was the only woman in her class. She received a scholarship to attend the program and completed the 200-hour course with help from her children. Gina often talks about the study sessions they would all have, using flashcards. They would celebrate when she gave them correct answers. These study sessions proved very beneficial, and Gina graduated at the top of her class. After she obtained her CDL license, Gina looked for ways to help place her oldest son, Romain, in college. With help from Good Life, they found scholarships that would give Romain a 4-year full ride to TCU. Gina also found a home with Trinity Habitat for Humanity. Her continued work for the community made her the perfect candidate for their mortgage-free home. In order to qualify, the family put in 250 hours building other community houses and taking classes. Gina's home was built in the middle of downtown Fort Worth by hundreds of volunteers, and the process was covered by local media. Gina was featured in our Thank You Goodwill series back in 2015, and since then has continued to be a shining example of what the power of work can accomplish. The steps she's taken have paved the way for her children to succeed and make our community a better place. It's only fitting then that this year Gina was nominated and accepted as GII's Achiever of the Year. Friends and coworkers gathered virtually to help celebrate her accomplishments at this year's Delegate Assembly. A video presentation featured colleagues congratulating her before she was given the opportunity to address the assembly and give thanks for her recognition. She was kind enough to record her speech for us afterwards, so we're going to play that now.
I want to thank everyone for being here today. When I got the call from Shay earlier this year, I couldn't believe that I had been chosen to receive this year's GII Achiever of the Year award. It is an honor to be able to represent my Goodwill. I went from being a student at Goodwill's truck driving school to now a truck driver for the company, equipped with many skills that I've gained along the way, such as teamwork, leadership, and mentorship. Those are just a few that mean the most to me. I believe there is value and necessity to become an opportunity to open doors for others, to seek out for those who are in need, and to look around you to see if someone out there needs a helping hand. I learned these values at Goodwill and will take them with me throughout my life and instill these values within my own family. I am fortunate to have had an opportunity to evaluate my life, where I was at and where I wanted to go, to get out of my comfort zone of what was possible and to continue to set higher goals for myself. In the time that I have been a student at Goodwill to now an employee, my life has literally flipped upside down. I have overcame being a single mother of 4 children. We were homeless at the time, and I was unemployed, to now being a role model, a homeowner, and a truck driver, which I am very proud of. Lastly, I wanted to give thanks to my team of Avengers, Rosemary, Beth, David, Shay and Liz, Mr. Overstreet, Kate, and many others. I couldn't have done it without you. Lastly, I wanted to thank my children for believing in me and never giving up on me. Thank you.
I only got to chat with Gina a little bit before and after the award ceremony. We practiced going over her speech a couple times together, talked about our careers, and of course about Goodwill. She doesn't enjoy being the center of attention for too long, and like a lot of people here, is kind of camera shy. But I could tell how much the award meant to her and her family. It was a very emotional day at Goodwill's Campus HQ. So Gina, if you're listening to this while you're on the road, congratulations, and thank you for putting up with all of my lighting and camera equipment. And of course, while we are on the subject of thanking people, I would like to thank you, listener, for tuning in to this show and letting me share these stories with you. Getting to chat with folks and hearing about their lives is one of the cooler parts about my job, and I am extremely grateful for it. So on behalf of all of us here at Goodwill Fort Worth, I would like to say happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye! You have been listening to GoodCast, a podcast produced by Goodwill Industries of Fort Worth. You can stay up to date on all things Goodwill Fort Worth by checking out our social media pages, as well as signing up for our email blast. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to let us know somewhere on the internet, and maybe consider sharing it with a friend. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find podcasts.